Hello, this is Clinton Hobart, and welcome to the fourth painting in the Cottage Collection series, which is me doing a standard still life painting on vinyl, vintage vinyl wallpaper. This is Eggshells, as you'll be able to see in a second. And I've been told to start the videos from now on by saying, if you like the video, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, because eventually that'll let me make some money from these, which is great because, I don't paint for the money, but I need money to keep painting. My teacher always used to say there's a difference between painting for the money and making enough money to paint. And I try to live by that. And so, if you like these videos and you want to contribute, go just buy the painting. I don't have a GoFundMe. I don't take donations or anything like that. But the paintings are $250 each, and they're listed on the website and on my big cartel shop. So if you want to support the channel, that's how. All right, enough advertising for one day. Let's get to the work, and I'm drawing. I don't know how many times I can say I'm drawing in burnt umber and white. Around the 26th or 27th video, I'm going to just be like, okay, I've said this 27 times now. I teach, so I've said a lot of this stuff hundreds of times. But I do my drawings in burnt umber and white. The eggshells are in front of me, and so I'm just doing a drawing. These particular eggshells, I've had for years. If I like a setup, or if eggshells crack a certain way, I save them on a piece of cardboard on a shelf. And so these are a reuse. I've already painted these once. I don't know how many years ago, and I don't know who has the painting, but this is the second time these eggshells have been painted. And I'm sure it's different. Well, it's different because it's on vintage vinyl wallpaper. One of the reasons I like time lapse is this. What you're watching right now is a live, not live, but it's the actual painting process, and you're getting a really good idea in watching this how slowly I actually paint. Now, when I say slowly, I probably would work on the first layer. All four of these eggshells were probably painted in about 3 hours, and so some people would say that that's quick. But if I made a 3-hour video, you would see a lot of what you're looking at right now, which is just very small, very boring brushstrokes until the entire object is full with paint. And so I prefer time lapses. I prefer watching time lapses. I get the idea of what you're doing without having to sit there and watch every single brushstroke. And a lot of the time, the interesting brushstrokes for me are on the second sitting. There's a lot of painters out there that are painting everything in one sitting. They put a brushstroke down and they leave it. Those painters are usually loose, impressionistic, representational. They're putting down a brushstroke that may or may not actually be there, and it's usually heavily stylized. I'm not insulting anyone. I think that's great when you can do that, but it's not. It's just not how I work. And so for what I'm doing, a lot of it is putting down that first layer of paint, letting it dry, and then putting all the interesting stuff on top of that to give it layers and three-dimensional effects. And I like having my stuff look like it's three-dimensional. The number one comment I hear when I do a show or when someone sees my work in person is, it looks like it's going to jump off the canvas, or it looks like it's 3D, or it looks like I glued. I get that a lot with Legos. It looks like you glued the Lego to the canvas, and that's what I enjoy going for. But I can't do that in one sitting. That takes 2 and 3 days of letting the painting dry in order to get those effects. I will say this is, I think, the longest video I've made so far. This is going to come in at 17 minutes, and right now we're only at 4. And so if I could talk the entire time. I could walk you through every single thing going through my head. I don't want to do that. I don't know if you guys want to listen to that. If you make comments, if you want to gear this in a certain way, or if you want to see something, leave a comment. Because that's the only way I'm going to know whether you like what I'm doing, whether you don't like what I'm doing, what you want me to say, what you don't want me to say. It's just funny because when I first started on Instagram, I guess it was like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I first got my Instagram. I had 100 followers, and I think it was the best content I made because I basically felt like I was just talking to myself. And so that's really what I feel like I'm doing right here is I'm just talking to myself and anyone listening to it. The fun part about when you feel like you're talking to yourself is you can say whatever you want because no one's really listening anyway. If I get, 1 million subscribers, I'm not going to know who's watching. I'm going to be self-conscious. I'm going to be worried about what I say. Oh, what if this makes this person, but right now, I got 50 to 100 people looking at it, and I can say whatever I want. I'm going to try really hard that no matter how many followers I have to continue to just say whatever I want. It's been working for me so far. And hopefully I won't get sued. We'll try to leave names and copyrights and things like that out of these videos. I'm not talking about the painting right now because it's all basically just filling in the shadows. When I do paint these things, I paint the shadows first, and then I slowly work my way up to the highlights. And because I didn't make a time lapse on this one because the camera was just running, and I'm switching back and forth between time lapses. I'm still learning how to use this video editor, and so I can speed things up, slow things down. I removed audio, adding audio, and so it's a learning process. I'm also, because of time constraints, I don't know what time of day it is. It's in the morning, and I want to get to painting. And so I'm not rehearsing these. I'm not writing this stuff down. Most of the time, I'm not even doing multiple takes. I'm setting the voiceover on this, giving it one shot, and then it goes live, which keeps it spontaneous for me and for you. I think it keeps it more entertaining, but also I don't have the time to sit here and do, at 17 minutes a pop. If I do the 3 times, that's an hour. And I'm trying to keep this to, 17 minutes and then get back to what I want to do, which is paint. And that's what this is all really about. I want to paint. You want to paint. There are other videos that I watch if I just want to be entertained. I don't really watch too many painting videos for entertainment. They're not that funny. Most people that paint really, that make the videos anyway. You might get a joke in there, but it's not a laugh a minute, for the most part, and it shouldn't be, because you're painting. When I'm on stage, I have a tendency to try to tell a lot of jokes and keep it funny because I have an audience. And when you have an audience at a live show, if you think you're just going to paint and keep them entertained, you're sadly mistaken. So you better have. But I'll tell funny stories, and I'm not telling too many career stories in these videos. First of all, they're short, and so we may get to that at some point. But again, we'll see where the interest lies, and if there are comments and subscribers and things like that. But I'm on the halftones now on this particular egg, and you can see the light is painted in. And I will stop rambling when I see something worth commenting on. I did take photographs of my palette early on this one, and they'll be in my Patreon. I didn't put them in the video. I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I can get photos at the beginning and the end, but sticking them in the middle seems to mess up with the ratio of 16.9. Which is vital to getting this thing to look good on YouTube. And like I said, I'm still learning. I am watching videos on how to make videos, which is kind of funny in and of itself. And there was some point where I had to pause. Well, you'll see my name come up in the middle. That's not me promoting myself and being full of myself and saying, look, here's my name in the middle. I hit pause, and when I hit pause, for whatever reason, my name shows up in the middle of the video. So if you see my name in the middle of the video, that's just me pausing the video to have a cup of tea or hit the quiet button if one of my family members should call in the middle of making a video, which does happen a couple times already. I will tell a quick story because I have like 7 minutes. When I was in art school, one of the exercises was to paint eggs, and they wanted us to go get a dozen eggs and paint the eggs. No one said to break them, and so everyone assumed that they were supposed to be whole eggs. And so I got my pencil, and we were supposed to, if anyone who has ever done shading knows, you're supposed to take your pencil, draw the egg, and very lightly, with your pencil on the paper, shade in the entire egg. And after about 15 minutes, I was just bored to tears. My background in art school was in figure drawing. I didn't take a lot of classes, and I didn't have a lot of experience in painting still lifes. And the truth is, still lifes always bored the crap out of me. There was nothing interesting about drawing eggs, in my opinion. And so I decided to smash them. This is a true story. And I painted broken eggshells. And I brought my assignment into class, and I was the only one in the class who painted the eggs, who drew the eggshells broken. And the teacher just looked at me and he said, "You didn't do the assignment. I didn't tell you to break the eggs." I said, "Paint whole eggs." And he said, "I'm going to give you an A because you did a great job, but I want you to be aware of the fact that not doing what you're told can have wonderful results, but it will also be met with you getting fired a lot, or them going with somebody else. A lot of clients will want you to do what you're told, as much as I like the fact that you didn't." And so throughout the course of my career, I would say that has stuck with me, and I very seldom do what I'm told. And that's not to say you shouldn't hire me for a job. When someone hires me for a commission, I tell them straight up, I'm going to do this the way I want to do it. And if you like the end result, you can pay for it. But my work is 100% guaranteed. If you don't like what I decide to do, you don't have to pay for it. And that's where it creates the comfort level in a commission where the client says, well, if I don't like it, I don't have to pay for it. And in the history of my doing commissions, nobody has ever turned it down. In fact, usually my clients have been pretty thrilled with what I've delivered, which is kind of cool. Maybe it's because part of me knows what they want, even though I say, "Oh, I'm going to do what I want." Well, maybe sometimes I guess what I want is what they want, which could be. It could be that. I hope it's that. Right here, I'm painting around a break in the eggshell. This particular break was done by me flicking it. The eggshell was very whole and very round, and I remember this because it hurt. And I took my middle finger and my thumb and I flicked the center of the egg, and it broke perfectly, but it actually hurt like hell. I was like, oh man, it smacked my. They were harder, I guess. The eggshells were harder than I expected them to be. I thought it was just gonna break kind of easily, and it was like, wow, that actually hurt. I didn't cry about it. It just hurt for like maybe 30 seconds to a minute. And so I'm painting around it again on the second sitting. I would probably go over all this, and then on the second sitting, I would redefine the break. In fact, I think if I'm not mistaken, you might even see in one of the time lapses where I move. I think I moved this break, and that's an important thing to do, is to occasionally to realize you made a mistake and move it. One of the things that I've always said when I'm teaching my workshops is, once you recognize a mistake, the less you want to fix it, the more important it is to fix. Because if you make a mistake and you really, really, really don't want to fix it because the painting looks good, you have to fix it. Because you can't go leaving mistakes in your work. You'll never get any better. And I think that sort of mentality of, oh, I don't want to fix it, I'm going to leave it, that spirals out of control. And the next thing you know, you're leaving in every awful thing you do. And so I always say, when I see a mistake, I try to fix it, and there it goes. And so yeah, very quickly I wiped it out, and I'll put it back in. I don't remember if I put it back in today. Sometimes when I make the painting part of these and then the audio part, there can be a couple of days in between. I don't make them all. I'll film a whole bunch of stuff and then let it sit, and then I'll come in and make the audio. Sometimes it's that day. Sometimes I don't have a plan. I'm just having some fun with this. I should come up with a. I think the last eggshell in this, because we're hitting like 15-minute mark coming up, and this is a 17-minute video. And I think there's a separate time lapse for the other eggshell coming up. So the last eggshell should just kind of fly by because there's only 2 minutes left. And so let's see if it jumps. It should jump to a time lapse, and then at the end there's a shot of the finished painting. And again, for those of you saying, "Hey, where's day 2? How come we never see day 2?" Well, I'm going to do a lot of these, and so eventually I will get to a painting of where I show the second sitting on something. I just haven't yet. There's also I put some broken shells in the front. And so this is a time lapse, and I look at the way that I think the time lapse is more entertaining too. But again, if you disagree, if you like watching the videos, please leave a comment. If you like the time lapse is better, give me some indication of where you want to see this head, because I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for you guys watching at home. And then, yeah, we're putting in the deepest darks. I don't put the deepest darks in right away on an eggshell because I want to make sure that I keep the shadows proper, because the shadows of an egg are a lot lighter than a lot of other things. Shadows of a pear, for example, are far darker than the shadows of an egg because they're all white. And so we're coming up. We got about 40 seconds. I'm putting these I like to add little broken bits in the front. The finished painting will be showing up in a second. If you want to make the purchase on this, it will be on my website or my big cartel shop. There will be links in the description. Links on my website, www.clintonhobart.com, and or you can just send me a message. I'm quite easy to reach. All links are on my website, clintonhobart.com. If you like the video, again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you don't like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't thumbs down me. That's just awful. I don't thumbs down anybody. Thanks for watching.